Glass exploded from Chancellor Palpatine's office. Lightsabers clashed. Mace Windu stood firm. He shouted, "I'm going to end this once and for all." But Anakin Skywalker protested he must stand trial. Mace refused. "He controls the Senate and the courts. He's too dangerous to be left alive." "I need him," Anakin cried. A flash of blue light, then a scream. Mace Windu, struck down by betrayal, was hurled into the night by a blast of Sith lightning. Unlimited power, Palpatine roared. Mace fell, tumbling through the skyline. Buildings rushed past him in blurs. His body was burned, limp and fading fast. The wind howled around him, until the noise began to fade. Then a whisper in the Force, "Wake up! Wake up!" In the final moment, Mace's eyes snapped open. He reached out with the Force, slowing his descent just enough before crashing into a towering heap of garbage. He rolled over and passed out. Morning broke over the lower levels of Coruscant. Mace stirred. A scavenger droid tugged at his boot. Startled, it fled. Mace, injured and alone, found a tattered cloak and wrapped it around himself. He bound his severed arm with what fabric he could find. Somehow his broken lightsaber lay nearby, scarred and useless, just like him. Then he heard them. Clone troopers. They were hunting for Jedi. Mace knew he had to move. Hidden beneath the ragged cloak, he crept through back alleys, evading search teams and heading toward the only place he had ever called home, the Jedi Temple. But home no longer existed. Smoke and fire consumed the temple. He pushed inside, stepping over the bodies of fallen masters and students. There was no sound except for his footsteps. Slow, heavy, haunted. The council chambers called to him. Inside, the scene was unbearable. Burned robes, tiny lightsabers, scorched walls. Two younglings lay close together, a girl and a boy. The boy was blonde. The girl had Twi'lek headtails. Neither could have been older than 8. Mace fell to his knees. Silent sobs overtook him. He rocked, cradling their lifeless bodies. Then everything went white, a memory. A peaceful night in the Jedi Temple. The same two younglings were laughing, sneaking fruit in the kitchens. Mace caught them, arms crossed, but instead of scolding, he smiled. "These are my favorite," he said, biting into the fruit. He told them a story, how he'd once been caught by Master Yoda doing the exact same thing. Outside, Yoda stood in the hallway, chuckling. But the memory faded. The light disappeared. Back in the council chambers, Mace held the younglings again, only now, lifeless. The pain was overwhelming. A scream tore from his chest. Then, movement. A lift behind him activated. 2 clone troopers emerged. Freeze, turn around and surrender. They had no idea who he was. Not until one of them, suddenly rigid, began to turn, his blaster aimed at his own comrade. A single shot rang out. Mace rose, trembling, his cloak hiding his face. The second trooper tried to flee. Mace clenched his remaining fist. The clone froze. His armor crumpled in on itself with a shriek of metal. He fell, crushed by invisible power. Mace stood alone in the ruins. "I walked the line between light and dark," he whispered. "I found balance through the Jedi, through family, but no more." He stepped into the lift, facing the destroyed council chambers. And as the doors closed, he whispered one last farewell. "To the only life I've ever known." He emerges from the shadows of the Jedi Temple, slipping into Coruscant's lower levels, where lights flicker and alleys stretch into endless darkness. Mace walks with purpose, each step driven by pain and memory. Time passes, days maybe. He stays hidden, scavenging, healing, watching, until he finds an old compound in the swamp of Nalhuta, fortified, forgotten. It becomes his refuge. Inside the compound, clutter and dust fill the halls, shelves lined with weapons, relics, rusting armor, Jedi holocrons and Sith scrolls kept side by side. Everything a tool, nothing sacred. In the center, Mace meditates. Lightsaber parts float before him. His prosthetic hand, chrome and gold, assembles the weapon with a final twist. It drops into his palm. He tucks it away. HK-47, a patched-up droid, enters and reports. The target has a meeting arranged with Gardula the Hutt. Mace nods, begins strapping on his armor, grenades, knives, the Guardian mask. He boards a junk-built ship, the Buzzard, with HK-47, who jokes about their shabby transport. Mace doesn't respond. Silence is his armor now. They arrive at Gardula's palace, silver and cold. Crime lords and slavers fill the halls. Gardula welcomes him with a nod. Payment isn't credits this time, it's information. She gestures to a side door. A Wike steps through. Hondo Onaka, full of bravado and smiles, offers a deal. Mace listens, silent. HK-47 opens a case of credits, pulls out a crystal by mistake, eyes lock on it. Mace retrieves it and drops it into a pouch already glowing from others like it. Hondo notices, offers his help for more. Mace says nothing, turns and leaves. Back in the compound, HK displays a glowing map. The target is the Imperial data server on Coruscant. Mace says the Force will guide them. HK simply asks if he can kill some meatbags along the way. They fly again, the buzzard piercing through the atmosphere, landing deep in the lower city. They rent a speeder, move closer to what was once the Jedi Temple, now the Emperor's palace. Mace sets up, gives HK the bomb. They split. A market distraction triggers chaos. Mace leaps over the palace wall, cuts a vent open, and vanishes into the ducts. The hunt has begun. In the pitch-black shaft, Mace climbs down toward the heart of the Empire's new stronghold. The shadows welcome him, silence becomes his ally, and vengeance fuels his every move. He reaches the main air duct shaft, a wide column with massive fan blades turning slowly. He drops, jet boots flaring to slow his descent. Reaching out with the Force, he slows the fans just enough to pass safely through. In a control room nearby, a stormtrooper sees a blip on the screen, shrugs, ignores it. Mace lands at the bottom of the shaft, sneaks into a narrow corridor, throws a smoke grenade, lasers flicker into view, a deadly grid. He moves, flips, spins, dodging through with Jedi precision. He emerges into the Emperor's private archive, a cathedral of forbidden knowledge, holocrons from Jedi and Sith alike, tomes and relics, locked away from the galaxy. There, another figure types frantically at a console. Mace sneaks closer, blaster drawn, presses it to the man's head, but a lightsaber flashes, cutting it in half. Mace leaps back, ready to fight, but stops. He recognizes the man, Quinlan Vos. Vos demands Mace remove the Guardian mask, accuses him of defiling sacred symbols. Mace slowly removes it, revealing the scarred remains of his face. Vos is stunned. They begin to talk, interrupted by HK over the comm. The distraction is over, time is running out, but it's too late. The Grand Inquisitor arrives with guards and troopers, a trap. Mace and Vos prepare to fight. Mace doesn't even use his lightsaber at first, grenades and blasters are enough. The chamber erupts in fire and death. The two Jedi fight as one, cutting through soldiers. Mace crushes a trooper's armor with the Force. Vos slices clean through blasters and limbs. They escape, reaching the data console, revealing Project Nihilus. The Emperor is gathering Force-sensitive children, using them across the galaxy. Vos has the data. They agree to stop the project together and race for the exit. The lift takes them up. Imperial music plays from the speaker. They share a look. Outside, more troops await. They leap from the ceiling, unleash a Force wave, carve a path through the chaos. As the Empire closes in, a ship rises to meet them. HK-47, armed to the teeth, shouts his declaration, "Die, meatbags," and opens fire. HK-47's heavy blaster cuts a path through the courtyard, bodies dropping around him, flames crackling, alarms wailing. Quinlan Vos and Mace Windu leap into the air, landing at the edge of the cruiser's ramp, Jaron yelling from the cockpit to get in or get left behind. Inside, the ship rumbles and turns, rising fast into the Coruscant sky. Mace grips the stolen data disk tight, his scarred face unreadable. In the back, HK-47 sits casually, reloading with eerie calm. Jaron throws the ship into hyperspace, swearing under his breath about Jedi and firepower. The stars stretch, and the chaos of Coruscant vanishes. For a moment, there is only the hum of the engine and the echo of what just happened. Later, in the ship's lounge, HK stands silently in the shadows, while Mace meditates, armor still on. The Force surrounds him, flickering and storming. His prosthetic hand clutches the disc as he sees visions of the children, the experiments, the plan. Quinlan enters, quiet for once. They talk briefly, both agreeing, this mission has changed. Saving the children is no longer just an option, it's the only path forward. Mace does not respond at first, but eventually nods. At the next system, Concordia, they land at the ruins of Jaron's ancestral home, hidden in the mountains. The ship rests on an outcropping, fog curling around its landing struts. Jaron walks alone into the ruins, memories heavy. Mace stands at the cliff's edge, meditating again. The air is cold, the Force calmer here. Quinlan joins him, handing him a drink. They share a quiet moment. It doesn't last. Inside, Jaron slams a datapad on the table. There are nearly 500 children, all Force-sensitive, hidden across facilities, one on Moraband. A full battalion guards it. Quinlan and Mace listen in silence. HK suggests recruiting help. Mace reveals he has credits, contacts, and one condition: his goal is destruction, not rescue. The others are stunned. Quinlan pushes back, invoking the Jedi Code. Mace stops him. "I told you, that man is dead. I'm not here to save anyone. I'm here to make the Sith suffer. Geron offers a deal, help save the children, and they'll help him burn the Sith to the ground. Mace agrees. HK-47 is sent to gather allies. Mace gives him a black pouch, something critical, and a warning not to be late. Geron pulls a dusty tarp off a sleek Mandalorian fighter, gears up HK, and launches him into the stars. Meanwhile, Mace and Quinlan head to Florum to meet an old contact, Hondo Ohnaka. Hondo greets them with typical flair and hesitation. Mace offers something better than credits, kyber crystals. Hondo agrees. Elsewhere, HK arrives at a graveyard of separatist ships. Inside a ruined dreadnought, battle droids awaken. He walks into the darkness, his voice echoing. Statement: prepare for war. Back aboard the Starpiercer, the team regroups. Quinlan reaches out to old friends. Mace sharpens his blade and his purpose. HK returns with a small army of droids and ships. The final step, infiltration. The team reviews maps of the Moraban facility. It sits above ancient ruins. Mace will enter through the upper levels, Quinlan will free the children, and HK, Geron and their allies will create a diversion. Mace and Quinlan board a small shuttle. As they descend to the dusty planet, alarms blare. TIEs intercept. Mace presses a button, launching flares and decoys. They leap from the shuttle just before it explodes. They land behind the academy, cloaked by debris and smoke. Quinlan heads to the cells. Mace heads to the reactor. In the cell blocks, Quinlan watches from above. Hundreds of children lie silent in tiny cells. Guards patrol below. The alarm starts. Mace has begun. Quinlan drops in, takes out the guards and overrides the doors. Children pour out, afraid and confused. He ignites his saber beacon bright. I am Jedi Master Quinlan Vos. I am here to rescue you. Below, Mace tears through the generator room. Bodies fall. Sparks fly. He sets a device on the console, a blinking red light beginning its countdown. He vanishes into the vents. The children follow Quinlan through the mess hall. He slices open the floor, revealing a hidden passage into ancient Sith ruins. They descend. Inside they face danger, poison bugs, crumbling tunnels. But Quinlan leads them, chanting the Jedi code. They move as one. The creatures flee. They reach a massive sealed door. Quinlan and the children reach out with the Force. It opens slowly, revealing light and wind. A figure stands outside, Ventress. She smirks, lifts her mask. I had to find out from someone else. Typical. Together, they lead the children down the valley toward escape. But Inquisitors and Purge troopers give chase. Speeders roar down from the cliffs. Just as the Jedi prepare to fight, Mandalorians drop from above. Bo-Katan and Geron in full armor. HK arrives with a column of droids. The Bad Batch land their ship. Pirates led by Hondo flood in. An army of misfits and legends united. The Empire answers in kind. Walkers, tanks, hundreds of stormtroopers, TIE fighters strafe from above. HK yells command, kill the meatbags! Quinlan and Ventress clash blades with the Inquisitors. Geron fights with blasters and a Beskad, taking down troopers with every move. Hondo's pirates cover the children as they board ships. One last squad of TIEs approaches. HK and Omega bet credits on who shoots down more. The droids fly. Mandalorians fly through the sky, blasting enemies from above. But the enemy is endless. For every trooper they drop, 2 more arrive. Suddenly, a TIE advance descends. The battlefield falls silent. Vader has arrived. Cody, Jaren and HK stay behind to hold the line. Explosions rip through the valley. Quinn and Ventress leap aboard the last ship. Cody is wounded. Jaren falls, betrayed by an Inquisitor. With his last act, he detonates a pack, collapsing the valley behind them. The ships escape into space. Silence follows. The Jedi mourn. Mace, far away, prepares for what must come next. And in the ruined academy, Vader enters. Heavy boots echo. At the center, Mace waits. Finally, he says. Vader answers, "You survived." Mace drops his weapons. Only one lightsaber remains. His own. They ignite blades. The final battle begins.